Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Valagar Aloevain. Alright, so for this video, we're going to be actually doing a quest called Proof is in the Poison. Now, this is a very difficult quest at level, especially if you don't know the path through the quest, as well as you're not coming in prepared. So this is located on the south end of the market, given by Ruad Alake, and it's just kind of up and around the corner here. Now it does point out that the duration is very long, and it is a longer quest, um, and a very difficult one at that. So a couple of things I do recommend having when you are doing this is some sort of a healer, some sort of acid resistance, as well as some form of magic missile protection, as there are a lot of casters who all really enjoy casting magic missile. So I'm just going to pull out a hireling here for us. Gonna actually get a higher level one here. Alright. Another thing that is very common in this quest is these enemies really do like to appear hidden. These quick foot fighters. So just watch yourself. What might not look like a large group of enemies may in fact be a large group of enemies when you get a little bit closer. Alright, so the first recommendation in this quest is to actually stay up top here, not heading down the path to the right, and just clear off these enemies at the top. So as you see, there's that acid. Alright, so there is a trap here on the bridge, which does turn this bridge into basically a flame jet. As well, there is a trap at the bottom here. So these are the only two traps in the quest. So if you have a trapper, I definitely recommend getting these two before you pull that lever there. That lever will open this door. However, it will also activate the traps. So if you haven't already gone through and disabled the traps, I definitely recommend doing that first. If, however, you do not have a trapper, it is doable without one. When you pull this lever here, all you need to do, this trap here, it's spinning blade traps. This one comes up in the middle, so all you need to do is basically hug the wall all the way up and around, and you'll be fine to avoid that one there. And then the one at top will also show you how you can walk around that one without disabling it, if that is not an option for you. Alright, so once you get back to the top, if you don't have a trapper, rather than crossing the bridge, you actually just again want to hug the wall, and you can walk directly around the trap. But of course we did disable the trap, so we can actually come across the bridge here safely. Alright, so as you can see, this is a lot of corridors, a lot of breakables, even right here at the beginning. And a lot of little corners. Now, a lot of people get lost in this quest, just due to the fact of the way it's set up. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys a walkthrough while I'm doing it. Of course, we're going to grab all these breakables. And the next thing here, we got to go through this door. We're going to go through all the spider tunnels here. Alright. Now, in this tunnel, it does split off here. The direction we have to go is off to the left. However, if we choose to go to the right first, it does lead to a dead end, which can, and we did luck out, but it can have a named spider for a little extra experience.
Vicious widow.
So I'm just going to grab that remnant chest there. And then the next thing we got to do is circle back and head down that other path to continue on with our quest. Now, I do want to point out that this character is a multi-life TR character, which is why it does appear that I am going through this quite a bit easier than you may be going through. Alright, and so if we walk up to the door, we can see a path leading off directly to our left, as well as one that continues forward. Now, I do recommend making a direct left and clearing out this first. Oh, another thing to watch out for is their lightning bolt, as lightning bolt just sucks. Alright, so doing the immediate left there, there's just a couple of enemies and some more breakables, a lot more breakables. Once that's done, we're gonna then continue off going straight. The reason I say make an immediate left is there are some enemies over here, and if you get their aggro, then you're kind of flanked between, because these guys are going to see you regardless, they're so close. Those ones there are just far enough that if you hug this wall and make an immediate in, you're going to only be dealing with one group of enemies at a time rather than the two. Alright, from here, just grabbing some breakables. Some more casters. Boxes. Alright, and what we're going to need to do here, after we get these guys killed, is head to the end of this tunnel. As you see, the doors on the sides, both here and here, are currently closed. We need to head all the way up to this locked door and make a left. And continue off this path. And here there is our lever, which will open up further this way. And open up this gate as well. It also opens up, so once we go through and pull that, we can continue through. It'll open up this one. We're going to make an immediate left and then an immediate right, and it also opens up this one here. And in here it's just got a singular lever at the back wall. We pull this one, it opens up another gate for us. This one here, we're going to make a left and another left, and it's this gate right here. So this is where a lot of people get lost. Like I said, there's a lot of lever pulling and a lot of back and forth, which it can definitely confuse people. I know myself, when I was first doing this quest, it was a little difficult for me. Alright, so as we see, there are two staircases, one on the left, one on the right. At the top of each, there are two casters, so just be prepared. The direction we need to go is off to the right, so personally I kill the ones off to the left first. That way I'm just heading off this way and I can just keep going. But it really doesn't matter, obviously, which order you kill them, as long as they die. So we're going to continue off to the right, which is north. And remember, feel free to take your time in here. This isn't a dungeon that you definitely want to rush. It is very limited to the amount of shrines. In fact, is only one shrine in it, and it is a decent ways into the quest. So, also, you know, take care to either bring spell point potions or to manage your spell points there, that way you don't run out. Give ourselves another night shield. Probably call the hireling so I can get some healing in. Alright, so now we're going to continue down our path here. So it does split again, but as you see, this side is blocked off. So we really only have one direction to go. And around every corner is another enemy. Alright. Alright. Now, the moment that we pick up this gold key here, it starts spawning in traps down the path that we left. Now, these traps are undisableable. But they are set as static jets. So if you just look at where they're shooting out, like that one there, you can easily walk past. And same with this here. First one's here, second one's there. We can just time it, and walk right around. Or you can just do what I normally do and run through. However, the acid can hurt a little bit. So definitely recommend, if you don't have that acid resistance, to just try to time it and walk around it rather than just blitzing through. Alright, from here we gotta backtrack all the way to our staircase, and then this time we're gonna head south. Which will take us to this door. Now the gold key that we just picked up does unlock this door here. So whoever picked up the key has to be the one to unlock it. Now as soon as we unlock this door, it's going to spawn in some oozes on the other side of that door, as well as some casters up on the walkway there, if you can see it. Right near where that crystal is. So what I definitely recommend is taking out the oozes first, by just slime so they split. But what I definitely recommend doing is just dragging them out here. This way the casters can't hit you. And I do want to point out, if you are using any type of piercing or slashing weapons, as you see, the oozes, they do split. But more importantly, on Reaper difficulty, each of those splits can actually spawn in a Reaper as well. So just be careful as it can quickly overrun you. Alright, so there are those 3 casters. Fortunately, I was close enough to the door where they got me with that. Alright, so this room here, floor is acid, and yes, it will hurt. So as you see, I have 21 acid resistance. Even with that, I'm still taking 8 to 20 damage. So just use that, you know, sparingly. Just think of it like 8 plus 21. That would have been almost 30 damage. The other way, that was 20. That would have been again almost a little bit. 20 plus 20. That would have been 40 something damage that we were taking. So just watch yourself in here. Now there is a way across. You can either jump on the pipes here and jump across this way. Oh. We can come around the edge here, actually jump up on these ledges and just walk around the edge. Or this is usually the path that I take when I don't feel like jumping. Or the other one there is to just run. All you do gotta make it through is just to right here. So if you do run, it would only be 1 tick of damage. 1 to 2, sorry. But again, careful, because as you see, the hireling only got hit twice, and there went most of his hit points. Now, a thing to point out, these enemies, they also get hit by this acid damage. So as they're running in to get you, like, look how quickly that it's melting their hit points there as well. I'm gonna... So just be cautious. As you see, it does take them out, and that is one strategy for eliminating these enemies. It really doesn't give you a lot of movement in here. So you come in, they're going to be right here on you. If you just drag them out a little bit, even jumping on this one here, they can't seem to get up to you. And the casters have problems because they stand right underneath it, and they have problems hitting you with spells. They will still hit you with magic missile, but their lightning bolt and their melts acid arrow will just hit the sides, as long as they're right at the bottom side there. If they're standing over there, of course, they can still shoot you. Alright, so now we're going to continue down. We got just another long path and more enemies. So of course, just like before, we can drag them onto the acid if you need, or you can just kill them. Alright, so directly off to our right, we do have a door, which does have just a couple of enemies in it, nothing special, but again, it does have some breakables if you're going for that full breakable bonus. Let's call it our hireling. Alright, and we're going to continue down our path. Just waiting for the hireling to catch up, so I can give you a quick top off of heals. Alright, and here we do have a door to our left, so the only direction we can go is to the right. We're actually coming up to the one and only shrine in this quest. And here it is, it's just down there to our left. So before we get to it, there are some enemies. First and foremost, there's a couple of oozes there, as well as these iron defenders. Now, if you have a hireling, I do recommend putting it on a stand ground before entering this room, as they often get stuck pathing around and end up standing in this acid. Alright, so we don't need to go use that shrine there ourselves. So from here, we just came down this one. So I do, it can get a little difficult, but do try to remember which staircase you're using. So the first thing we need to do is we need to head up the other staircase. It mostly gets confusing when you're, if you jump off the side, you run and use the shrine. I know myself, I've gotten confused a couple of times. Alright, so off to our right, as you notice, a couple enemies did come out of here. All it has is some breakables, so we need to continue down. And in this room, there is just a key sitting on the back desk here. A little green key. This is to unlock that door that we had just passed. And like the gold key before it, as soon as we pick it up, it does activate the trap in the hall here. So all we gotta do is just, again, watch where it's shooting. If we hug to the left, nothing. Again, we just walk down here and we can go around and up the staircase, or if you have the jump, you can just jump across. And again, jets in here, easy fix, just head to the right and you can easily avoid that trap. So here we're going to open the door.
You gain entrance through the locked door. Timber must be nearby.
Alright. Alright. Now this part here, only one person really has to do this part, so if you are in a group, I would recommend suggesting your strongest party member, as there is a little bit of fighting. In fact, that staircase right there, there is 2 casters on it. So what you're supposed to do is come up this one here, across to these pipes, and as you're noticing, if you're walking across, you can just walk right to, you don't have to jump. From here you just want to hop up and over, and again, if you're just holding your forward key, your character will automatically climb, so don't worry about jumping. And again, you can do the same here, and there are those 2 casters. So again, if you're scared about jumping and falling, you don't need to, you can just continue walking across, never having to actually jump. This one here, as you see, we did fall. So that one you do need a small jump. And again, if you fall in the acid, it does hurt a little bit. I'm just going to get a quick top off here. Alright. So this one, what you can do though, is actually just jump all the way to the wall. If you need to. As you see, you can't fall that way. And then just carefully walk across the pipe to our valve here. Furthermore, if you have the jump, you can actually just jump right up, grab the edge, pull the lever that way. Once you're done, just walk across the pipes and fall down onto our staircase, or as close as you can to it. That way you have the least amount of path back. Now as soon as we pull that valve, it does open the gate right here, and there are enemies in here as well. So if you are confident that you can take out those 2 casters, definitely recommend just going with one person with the rest of your party waiting down here. That way as soon as you pull that valve, they can start progressing there. Just save yourself a little bit of time, but again, go at your own speed in here. It is a long quest, and it is a difficult quest. In fact, I have several friends that refuse to run this quest unless I'm running it, because then they can just essentially saddle up for some free experience. Alright, so this room here, first thing to point out is this will be a gate. So if you're not doing this part of the puzzle, it's easier to just stand on this side. That way when it does go up, it's a lot easier to walk around. However, as you see, it doesn't go all the way across, so you can still just sneak around the side here. Now this room here, there is a lever. Now this lever can be in several locations, sprung all around, so I definitely recommend figuring out where that lever is first. Once you figure it out, it's simply just a jump puzzle to get to it. Once you pull that lever, however, all these gates come up. So now you gotta figure your way out. This one isn't too bad. It's just a couple of jumps here. There we go. Some of the other ones that can put you in the farther corners be a little bit trickier jumping back. But again, it's not too bad, so just take somebody who's really good at jump puzzles and send them, sacrifice them. I definitely recommend going one at a time in here. That way if someone happens to die, you're not all there at once, and you're not sending unnecessarily risk to the rest of your party. Alright. Now that we're on the other side of this little gate here, all we gotta do is continue down our path. Give ourselves another night shield, that one's about to run out. Alright, now again we have, nope, not this one here. So we got a locked door here. This will be where we continue, or a closed gate rather, not a locked door. And this one here is just around the corner. But there are some enemies in here. Champion magic missile, so glad I have that night shield. Alright, now as soon as we pull that lever, that door is going to drop. And it does spawn enemies like almost directly on the other side of that gate. So if you do have a party and they're waiting out in that hall, just be warned, it's pretty quick. So if you're standing out here and you're not paying attention, they will be alerted to you and will just head directly for you. Now, you're probably wondering why specifically, considering how long this quest is and how much of a pain it could be, and you know how much of a pain I'm saying it is. Why would people even choose to run this? This is actually a quest that I keep in my normal rotation, simply because of the amount of experience it gives. Like, as you can see, it is 12,000 experience right now. This isn't including our full conquest bonus, our full ransack bonus. Unfortunately, tamper bonus is the highest bonus that you can achieve in this quest, but it's also not including in our daily or any of our extra experience that we have. So it does come out to be a large amount of experience, and if you're using an experience pot or want to, definitely recommend doing that at the end of the quest. If you've already have it going, then it is again just a massive amount of experience that you can obtain in one dungeon. Alright. So here all we need to do is pull our lever, and then it will open up this doorway right here. breakables here. Alright, now at this point we do have our ransack and conquest, and as you can see it's 12,500. Again, not including the extra bonus for the daily run. In this room we need both the silver key as well as the lever, of course, to open up this door. And this will actually take us all the way back to the beginning of the quest. Just about, as you can see, this is where we had where is it here? So this is where we had started the quest here. We just came up and around and down this path here. So this time, instead of heading down there, going that direction, we come straight to this door. So if you are, for example, just looking to pike the quest, first, of course, check with your party. Make sure it is okay that you go AFK or you pike. I personally, I never have a problem if I'm running this with a group. If they choose to pike, as long as they let me know ahead of time and not just expecting me to do it for them. And if they do, this is the place to do it. It will save a lot of running around. You don't have to go down any of the side paths here. This whole section is done. You would just come in, follow the path, and head straight here. Alright. Now again, as soon as we open and unlock this door, there will be a fight on the other side. You see them spawning in here. So if you have any, again, crowd control AoEs, just prepare yourself. And they do have a named enemy here. This is not the main enemy. Oh, there goes our... Night shield had ended. Alright. So it does have a chest in here. I do recommend, before looting this chest, taking out the couple of defenders on the other side of the door. Simply just to protect yourself, that way you're not caught unaware and are trying to loot while they're running into attack half your party. Alright, from here it is just a simple bit. So if you miss some breakables, it does still have a fair amount of breakables left, so there's some there. All this section here. But if you've been gathering them all up as you've been going along, as you'll notice, we already had that ransack bonus. This door here is a complete optional aspect. It doesn't actually grant any experience, but if you have somebody who can pick locks, on the other side of it, there is just another chest, so some free loot. Nothing named, of course. Just a random loot gen chest and some free loot. Alright, now down here we do have more enemies. And then another oranged name one as well. This one here is an archer just hiding around the corner. Unfortunately, no experience is awarded for killing him, as he is a quest objective. But luckily for us, we did get a rem chest. Now that obviously doesn't always happen, and if it doesn't, there is no loot. Again, as you can see, several other containers. So as long as you're going through the quest, it's really not too hard to get your ransack bonus. As you can see, you do still need a lot of them, but there are so many extras that it's not, again, that hard. Even if you miss several of them going through, it's usually not that hard to get enough to get your full ransack bonus. So here we are, just approaching on the very end of the quest. So this is actually going to be our last small group here before the end fight. Alright, so I'm just going to jump up here. So there are a few normal enemies up there, as well as there's going to be a big enemy, a Scaro, and two red named enemies. I'm just trying to see if we can't get a look at them here. Now we can pull these enemies here if we can. Yeah, there we go. So if you get close enough, it'll spawn in the random trash and not the actual named ones. If you do that, there's more. If you do that and you are able to pull them, this would be the time that you want to actually use your experience potion if you're going to, because as soon as you kill the two named guys up top, that's it, the quest is over. So just be warned. So we've got these two here, so we're going to take out the assistant first. And then go after the Scaro. And as soon as he dies, that's it. As you can see, 16,000 experience, and this is no potion. So if you had a 50% experience potion, there'd be another 8,000 on top of that, bringing up to a total of 24,000. Like, that's just a mass amount for a singular quest. As you can see, though, it did take about a half an hour to complete. Obviously, it would normally only takes me about 20-25 minutes. Um, when I'm not stopping to explain stuff and go through like that. But that's this quest here. Great amount of experience. Really difficult night. I personally enjoy it because I like the challenge of it, which is why I also enjoy the Reaper difficulty myself. It just brings a challenge to the game that isn't there. But of course, if you're not, if Elite is still challenging, there's nothing wrong with that. I remember when I first started, hard was a challenge for me. So, everything comes in time as you progress, and of course, as you play the game, you get better as a player and stronger as a character. That eventually, as you see, we're going through Reaper 1 and we're walking through it like nothing's happening. Alright, but anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one, all.